Hi guys, I'm busy packing for a 5-day Drakensberg multi-day hike, and I thought it'd be interesting to show you what I pack for photography on a multi-day hike. Now obviously we have to take all our own camera gear, we have to take all our own tent, sleeping bags, sleeping mats, food, everything for the multi-day hike. So our packs end up being around 20 to 25 kilos with everything in. So we really want to cut down on our photographic gear so that it's a little bit easier to hike up the mountain. So I've managed to get my photographic gear. Normally my photographic gear is around 6 kgs with everything. This year I've managed to get it down to under 4.5 kilos, which I think is quite impressive. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I take for 5 days in the mountains, in the Drakensberg, and what I use to take the content that I create. So firstly, I've got everything down into these 2 bags. This is my f-stop camera bag, and then this is sort of what would be my accessories bag with batteries, my gimbal, and a whole bunch of stuff that I'll go through and show you. But between these 2 bags and my tripod is all the camera gear that I take with. And you'll be surprised what you can pack into these 2 bags. So I'm going to show you what I pack. So if you look over here, I have f-stop bag. This is a nice bag because it's got 4 clips that I can clip onto my hiking bag. So while I am hiking, I have this sitting in front of me and I can easily access my camera, take some photos and put my camera back in here. And that's a big problem because if your camera's in your backpack, every time there's a beautiful scene or landscape you want to photograph, you have to stop, put your bag down, open your bag, rummage through your bag, get out your camera, take a photo and put it all back. And it takes a lot of time to do that every time. But by having your camera bag accessible on your chest, you don't have to take your bag off and you can basically shoot while you are walking. And then when I get to camp and I've set up my tents and everything, I don't want to hike around with my hiking bag to go take photos. I then have a little strap that I keep in and that just attaches on the side over here. And then I have a shoulder strap bag that I can use to hike around and go take photos. So I can just use it as a little sling bag with all my camera gear all together. So the hiking tripod that I've been using for the last 3 years is the LS225C Leophoto tripod with the LH25 head. And this is perfect for mirrorless cameras with lenses that aren't too heavy. So anything less, I'd say, than a 70 to 200 should be perfect on this with an L bracket and it's stabilized in the center of the column. But I love this tripod. This tripod with the head weighs under 1 kilo. I think it weighs 970 grams. And very small, very compact, easy for me to put in my hand luggage when traveling, also easy for me to stow on the side of my hiking bag for easy access when I need it. So love this tripod. It's not the most solid tripod if there's gale force winds, but set pretty low like this, it can put up with a lot, including rain, decent wind, and in the end I find it pretty stable for what I'm shooting and the gain I get from carrying a lighter tripod. So now I'm going to show you everything that's in my f-stop bag, what I keep all my camera in, and a few other goodies that you'll be surprised. So as I mentioned before, this will be clipped onto my hiking bag when I'm hiking. At the back here, I keep a waterproof cover. Now this bag is already waterproof to the sense that if it's a light drizzle or anything, this bag is fine, it's not going to get wet. But if there's torrential downpour and you're hiking for several hours, the water will eventually soak through the waterproofing. So I always keep a dry bag with me in case a big storm will get caught out when I'm on a little walk. I can always put this bag inside the dry bag. It gives me extra layer of protection. So that just sits quite nicely at the back here. And there's a little zip at the top, which I suppose you keep SD cards and things in. I just keep a cleaning cloth and all my cleaning cloths in there because you'll find on the mountain you're always reaching for a cleaning cloth if there's light drizzle or anything like that, especially now in the rainy season when I'll be in Drakensberg. So when you open it up, you can see straight away you have easy access to your camera. Camera sits right in the front there, and you can just drop your hand in on the side and out pops your camera, take a few shots, pop it back in. Quite easy to do. So I'm shooting with a Z6 II. I have an L bracket on. At the base of my L bracket I have an Allen key that connects magnetically, and this is if I need to do any adjustments or take the L bracket off or do any adjustments to my tripod. This little Allen key works for that. When you're up in the mountains, there's no quick, I'll go fix it when I get home. You have to be able to do things on the fly. With that, on my camera, I have the 24-120 f4 lens. This is a new lens I've got. This is the first time I will be using it on a hiking trip, but I purposely got this lens for hiking, and this is the only lens that I will take, the 24-120 f4. It's an S-line Nikon lens. And from the reviews and everything I've read, it sounds like a great lens, and we'll be putting it to the test. I'll also be doing a YouTube video comparing this lens to the 24-200 specifically as hiking lenses, and talking about the pros and cons of each lens. But as the purpose of this video, for what I take on a standard trip, this will be the lens and camera. That will be what I take with me. Then on the front, I have a polarizer. Now I keep a polarizer. I use the Nisi True Color polarizer. And when you're shooting, especially at rainy season in the Drakensberg, there are a lot of waterfalls. You'll get a lot of reflections off of the rocks. So a polarizer helps a lot to cut through any of that glare that you might have. So always have the polarizer on the camera. And that's the camera. Then what else I keep in my bag is, yes, I can fit a 20,000 milliamp power bank. This will be to charge my gimbal, my mic system, and my phone, which I do a lot of my video recording on. So 20,000 milliamp gimbal. Then this is my mic system that I use. It's a Bluetooth mic system, plugs into my phone or my camera, and then clips on with a lapel mic. So that's in a little case that's rechargeable. So the case actually carries some charge. So when I'm on the mountain for 5 days, I don't run out of battery on my mic system, and it's a Boya mic system. And what else? Lastly, at the bottom, I have a 6-stop polarizing filter that I take with as well. This is if I want to do any long exposures with cloud movement or with the waterfalls, especially at Tugela Falls, to get some nice shots. I want to use 6-stop to do some long exposures. Also really nice for when I shoot time lapses to get that cloud movement, shooting at about 4 or 5 seconds in your time lapse gives a nice little motion to the clouds as you're shooting. So this all fits in the bottom. Because my camera only comes to about over there with the lens, I have this extra bit of space at the bottom to put these other accessories in, which I will use while shooting out on the mountains. Okay, lastly, I'm going to go through the accessories pack that I take. This has become a critical component on all my hikes. I keep this in my normal bag when I go out shooting. It's just a really nice system to keep all your batteries, all your cables, all your SD cards together. You know exactly where everything is. So this is a Thule, the Thule accessories pouch. I keep a little carabiner on here so that if I'm hiking and I just have the shoulder strap, I can hook this onto my belt or onto the shoulder strap, and then I have my hands free to set up tripods and do things. I don't like to put things down on the ground when I'm hiking, because you end up walking away and you forget stuff, and it's really difficult to actually go and find it again, or you only remember the next day that you forgot it. So always like to keep my camera gear on my shoulder, on my back, or clipped onto me so that I know where it is at all times. So just opening this up, you can see it is a really nice layout inside. I have my 4 batteries that I take with me and 1 in the camera. So I have 5 batteries for this trip for 5 days. I work on a battery a day. And then if that runs out, if I'm shooting a lot of time lapses or some video, I have this little smart charger, which you can get off Takealot. And this plugs with a USB cable into my power bank, and I can charge a battery. It is quite slow, but I can charge a battery if I want in an emergency. So if you're doing a shorter hike, you don't need to take this with, but I don't want to be limited in what I can shoot and hold back. So I take this for emergencies just in case. Second cleaning cloth, can never have too many cleaning cloths on the mountain. And then I have my DJI Osmo 5, which I use with my phone to shoot some video for these YouTube videos that I'm making. I'm currently using my phone now to shoot this. And then I've put a little base plate on the bottom so that I can put it on the tripod if I want. If I'm shooting on my own and no one's helping me, I can do video on my own. Then I also have a little holder for my phone. If I want to set up a time lapse in the background with my phone while I'm doing something else, and I just want it to run without wasting the battery on the gimbal, I have this little stand that I can clip my phone into and let it run. When I'm setting up camp or something like that, I can put this little guy on my phone and let that run. So I keep that guy with me as well. Then I have my 4 batteries fully charged, and then it's also got a nice little top zip which I keep accessories in. Again, you can see I'm quite pedantic about cleaning cloths. Got a little some noise filter for my mic when I'm shooting with the mic, cable for my phone, cables to charge the mic and the gimbal, and then I have spare SD cards, 2 spare 64 gig SD cards if I run out and I need some more SD space. So you can see everything over here, but this here all fits into this convenient bag with my batteries and everything. So really nice bag to take with you when you are hiking. And between that and my f-stop bag is actually a really small footprint, and it weighs under 4.5 kilos. And I can shoot video, I can shoot time lapses, I can shoot photos. I've got a nice range from 24 to 120. It's pretty sharp for the mountains. And yeah, that's everything I take with specifically for photographic gear. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and it'll maybe show you that you're taking too much stuff or have given you an idea of how to pack differently when hiking in the future.